Hi there. In this movie, we will take a look inside the factory to see how the iconic Armstrong Whitworth Whitley is built and discuss its history. As we delve into the fascinating world of World War II aviation, let's explore the story of an unsung hero that played a crucial role in shaping the course of history. Allow me to introduce you to the Armstrong Whitworth Whitley, a stalwart of the Royal Air Force that may have flown under the radar, but left an indelible mark. The Whitley was designed by Armstrong Whitworth Aircraft under the leadership of Chief Designer John Lloyd. It was developed in response to Specification B3, a directive from the British Air Ministry calling for a twin-engine heavy bomber. The Whitley aircraft featured an all-metal monoplane design, marking a significant advancement over the older fabric-covered biplanes that had been common in RAF squadrons during the interwar period. Its unique nose-down flying angle was due to the wings being mounted at an angle of incidence, giving the aircraft a distinctive appearance in level flight. Although it may seem unusual, this design choice was a calculated aerodynamic compromise aimed at enhancing its takeoff and landing capabilities. Constructed with a riveted and bolted frame, the Whitley prioritized strength and durability over aesthetic appeal. This focus on robustness reflects the resilience needed to withstand the challenges of warfare. Early versions were powered by Armstrong Siddeley Tiger radial engines, later replaced by the more reliable and powerful Rolls-Royce Merlin engines. The aircraft's range and payload were moderate by later wartime standards but significant at the time of its introduction, roughly 1,600 miles in range and a maximum bomb load of 7,000 pounds. At the outset of the Second World War, the RAF's Bomber Command had few aircraft capable of meaningful, long-range strategic bombing. The Whitley, along with the Handley Page Hampton and the Vickers Wellington, formed the trio of early bombers charged with carrying out Britain's initial aerial offensives. The Whitley was the first aircraft in the RAF to carry out bombing missions over Germany, with its inaugural raid occurring on the night of May 19, 1940, when Whitleys from the 10th Squadron targeted industrial sites in Germany. Due to its slower speed and vulnerability during the day, the Whitley was soon assigned to night bombing operations, where it truly excelled, benefiting from its stability in low-speed flight and the use of navigational aids. In the war's early months, Whitleys were also employed to drop propaganda leaflets over enemy territory as a psychological tactic aimed at undermining Nazi morale. Later, the aircraft was adapted for special operations, including deploying paratroopers and towing gliders during training exercises and specialized missions. By 1942, the Whitley was being phased out from frontline service. Its top speed of around 230 miles per hour and lack of defensive armament left it highly vulnerable to faster, more heavily armed enemy fighters. Newer bombers, such as the Avro Lancaster, Handley Page Halifax, and Short Stirling, offered superior performance, and thus the Whitley was shifted to training, maritime patrol, and coastal command roles. The Whitley may not have the legendary status of its successors, but it played an essential role during Britain's early war efforts, a time when simply taking the war to the enemy was a moral and strategic victory in itself. It's a lesson in courage and preparation. The aircraft represents the transition from peace to war, from outdated assumptions to the brutal reality of total conflict. The men who flew it faced enormous odds, many of them barely trained, sent out into the night skies over Europe, guided more by a sense of duty than any assurance of survival. The Whitley teaches us something broader too, about incremental progress. Sometimes you need a stopgap. You need a tool that holds the line while better solutions are engineered. And this aircraft did exactly that. The Second World War wasn't merely a clash of armies, it was a clash of systems, of ideas, of values. And in that contest, it wasn't enough to field brave men and clever strategies. You needed machines. You needed them designed well, built quickly, and maintained with care. In Britain, one of the industrial titans that answered this call was Armstrong Whitworth Aircraft, a firm whose wartime role was critical, if often underappreciated. As part of the sprawling Hawker Siddeley Group, Armstrong Whitworth contributed not just hardware, but engineering philosophy, helping to shape the RAF's capabilities during a time when freedom itself hung in the balance. Armstrong Whitworth, founded in the late 19th century, had already developed a reputation for robust engineering and innovation, well before the outbreak of World War II. Originally involved in armaments and shipbuilding, the company entered aviation in the early 20th century and began producing military aircraft during World War I. By the 1930s, Armstrong Whitworth Aircraft was focused entirely on aviation. with its headquarters in Coventry, a city that would later suffer devastating Luftwaffe raids. Their engineering approach was grounded in pragmatism and mechanical integrity, not unlike the moral imperative of getting your house in order before you criticize the world. During the Second World War, Armstrong Whitworth made several crucial contributions to the British war effort, primarily through the design and production of military aircraft, but also by providing technical expertise and manufacturing capacity to other firms within the British aviation industry.